I'm here in Georgia. We're building a grassroots army. We've got an incredible leadership team across the state of Georgia. And our country's in crisis. People realize what we're doing isn't working. Millions of Americans are hurting under the Obama economy. We're seeing our constitutional rights under assault from Washington. And we're seeing the consequences of the Obama-Clinton foreign policy. Leading from behind is a manifest disaster. And I'm here sharing good news that people are waking up. They're waking up across Georgia, all across the country. They realize this doesn't make any sense. We got to get back to the free market principles and the constitutional liberties that built America and made our nation great. And I'll tell you, the electricity, the excitement we're seeing at the grassroots here in Georgia and all across the country is breathtaking. I am the son of an immigrant who fled Cuba in 1957 and came to America seeking freedom. If we focused on areas of bipartisan agreement, we could craft immigration legislation that could sail through Congress. The problem is President Obama and the Senate Democrats right now are focused on partisan divisions. They deliberately focus on the most divisive aspects of this debate, in particular fighting for amnesty. Amnesty is wrong. It's inconsistent with the rule of law. It's unfair to millions of legal immigrants. In the short term, I'm not optimistic President Obama will be willing to work with anyone to do anything productive on immigration. But if I'm elected president, I intend to work to try to bring people together on areas of bipartisan agreement to solve once and for all the problem of illegal immigration. If I'm elected president, we will secure the borders, we will end sanctuary cities, and we will stop the Obama administration's practice of releasing violent, criminal, illegal aliens. The Republican Party has changed the primary calendar now, so it's sped up considerably. We're going to have the first three primary states, Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and then boom, 2 weeks later we hit Super Tuesday. We hit the SEC primary. It's so fast that the southern states that make up the SEC primary are going to have a critical role. And so we're doing a bus tour. We started in South Carolina. We're going to Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, putting together a national campaign team to be prepared to win in the southern states. We've got an incredible team in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina. We intend to compete hard there, but to win, you've got to have a national campaign. And I think Georgia in particular will have a critical role, holding the Republican candidates accountable, looking to our actual records, and demanding that the Republican nominee not be a campaign conservative, someone who talks good on the campaign trail but hasn't walked the walk, but rather that the Republican nominee be a consistent conservative who has stood and fought for the Constitution over and over and over again. And I think that's the single biggest difference between me and the other candidates, is that I've got a record as a fiscal conservative, a social conservative, a national security conservative, that with me you know what you're going to get. The two things I've tried to do in the Senate have been, number one, tell the truth, and number two, do what I said I would do. And I think that's why we're seeing this kind of excitement and enthusiasm, is people are fed up with politicians who say one thing and do another, and they're looking for a leader who they can trust.